So this question, you may have been asked, maybe not, but I just thought of it in my 7 type.
Yes.
What if I want to be another type?
Oh man.
But I'm not.
I want to be a 3. I want to be a 7. I don't,
So
that's
can we use that? Can we use that to our benefit to say, I am intentionally going to pull this out of this type to intentionally be that?
Yeah.
Can we change ourselves?
Yeah. So here's the thing is I joke that there's like the cool kids of the Enneagram. For whatever reason, everyone wants to be a 3. Everyone wants to be a 7. A lot of times people are like, oh, I want to be an 8 too. And if you are one of these types, you're like, you do not want to be this type. Trust me. Because you know the shadow side of it.
Yeah. That's a good point.
But I joke that there's cool kids of the Enneagram. And yeah, I think that there's part of us that looks at other types and we're like, oh, I want that.
Mm-hmm.
And we are a core type. This is the way that what I think about it is we're a core type. And usually that type, I tell people, if you can go back and identify, an early memory in your childhood or a time, like what were you like then? And you can probably identify some of the characteristics of your type now. Like I can look back at little Meredith as an 8-year-old and I'm like, yeah, she was an 8 through and through. And
scared to the point it's like, like in my mind, I'm visualizing.
Yeah. And then I
when I was a kid.
so bad for my parents. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And now it's probably going to come to me tenfold. But yeah, I think your type doesn't change. And there's a lot of things that impact it. And I'm also really quick to say, like, I am not a therapist. I'm not a trauma expert. But if you've had some kind of significant traumatic event, like that can really shape who you are.
Okay.
And so take that into consideration and, obviously talk to a professional about it. But in general, your type doesn't change. But I think, again, one of the gifts of the Enneagram is that we can grow and learn from all different types. Yeah. We can practice putting on the lens that a 2 sees the world through, that a 1 sees the world through. And it gives us empathy. It gives us compassion. And so I do think in some ways we grow and evolve and we can take on certain attributes of other types.
I think it's an intentional thing is what you're saying, right? We have the blind spots, but we're like, wow, I really need to be sensitive to, I would use you and Justin as an example, or me and Clarissa. My personality is like, whoa, I don't see that the way that you do.
Yes.
But because I'm a leader, I'm like, I know how this is impacting you. So I'm going to meet you where you are. So I'm speaking out loud and just thinking through the moment. I almost feel like because you appreciate the different personalities of the people that you're with or that you love or you work with, that you can adapt to that personality. You have an understanding. Although your core is you have to fight that resistance.
Yes.
To having tendencies to do whatever. But that is fascinating to me on how this is moving and dynamic. But for those that are curious, if they need to take it, do it in the right frame of mind.
Yeah.
Answer the questions and just to be open. Remember, this is about you becoming better as a person, as a leader, which it does impact. It really, really does impact leadership. I'm fascinated to learn more. If you like this episode, check out the full podcast right here. If you want to see more videos, you need to check out right here. Remember, the most important person you're ever going to lead is you.